What's trending today? Well, I would say it is the draft, the NFL football draft. And I am definitely not an expert, and I'm not going to pretend to be one, but I do have a couple thoughts on the draft. First and foremost, I'm a Browns fan. Don't know if you see, yeah, I'm one of those guys. I refuse to root for the Steelers. I think y'all are sellouts. Anyway, same with you Ravens fans too, man. They stole our team. Anyway, Browns had the first pick. We made the right move. That guy was a beast. Myles Garrett, there's no reason to pick anyone when you have such a gap, between the best player in the draft and everyone else in the pack. So I was really happy with that. I was shocked that Chicago traded up one spot to get that quarterback, Mitch Trubisky. I don't know how I feel about Mitch Trubisky. I mean, I would have been really upset if the Cleveland Browns would have given away great draft picks to get the number 2 overall pick so they could land Mitch Trubisky. If Mitch Trubisky is the best quarterback in this draft, unless he ends up being like a Kirk Cousins or something like that, I don't think there's really going to be any standout names. I think we got a bunch of Andy Daltons, and don't get me wrong, Andy Dalton, I would love to have Andy Dalton on the Cleveland Browns. Look at the Cleveland Browns resume. But, we've just picked way too many quarterbacks. And at number 12, after I saw what they did, I was kind of thinking, maybe we'll get Deshone Watson. And then we trade the pick to Houston. And I was happy about that. I didn't feel like Deshone Watson deserved a number... a number 12 overall pick. If we had a later pick in the draft, I'd scoop him up. For example, we traded with the Texans, and I believe we traded down to like 20, somewhere around there. So Deshone Watson was gone at round 12, which I think was just a little bit too high for him. And, I would have loved to have had him in a Cleveland uniform, but not at that cost. So anyway, we got Deshone. I'm getting a little bit off track here. Sorry. Traffic comes first, YouTube second. So anyway, yeah, and I thought that was a really good deal. I'm like, wow, we're being smart. We're still stockpiling some draft picks here. And we pick up, I can't remember his name. The guy from Michigan, the kid from Michigan that plays like every position. I'm not overly happy about that pick. I think we could have done much better with what was available. He's a tremendous athlete, but if you're very good at a bunch of positions, well, not very good, if you're very good in college at a bunch of positions, what does that translate into in the NFL? I mean, did we waste our number 20 pick basically on a kick returner? Can this guy, he's definitely not, I can't see. He's definitely not a linebacker in the NFL, so he's got to be a safety. And I think at best, he might turn out to be an average safety. And for me, the first round, there was still a lot of good players picked beyond him. But we did need someone in that position. We have to work on our defense some. So, that made sense. And then a few picks later, we trade back up. 3 picks. I mean, that's all we had to do was wait 3 picks. And we get a good tight end. I'm happy we got a good tight end. I can't think of his name. I'll link it down here. Anyway, so we pick up a tight end when we have Gary Barnage. Gary Barnage was one of the best offensive players on the Cleveland Browns. Now, obviously, I'm not comparing him to Josh Gordon or the Terrell Pryors, but he was very good at his position for a Cleveland Brown. And we just cut him loose today, a day after the draft, and I don't know. I mean, unless we knew for a fact Pittsburgh really wanted this guy, there was no reason to trade up for him. There was still elite talent, left on the board, and then there's still elite talent now. I mean, this guy, Lamp, and, I don't know, there's too many to mention. There's a couple quarterbacks. No, actually, there's one quarterback left that I might be interested in, and I can't think of his name either. But because we traded to get that tight end, we don't have the number 1 overall pick in the second round, which I would take Lamp, even if we don't have a need at that position. I would take Lamp over the quarterback that's available. Again, I'll link the name down below. Because, again, we're not really looking at a plethora of quarterbacks available at this spot, on this draft. Maybe next year. And we're having a good draft, overall. I think once we drafted Myles Garrett, there was very little we could do to make this draft a failure, with the exception of trading up to the number 2 spot to get Trubisky. Chicago, you guys blew it. And you know what? I'll leave this video up. If I'm wrong and Mitch Trubisky is the next Peyton Manning, Drew Brees, or, whatever, Andrew Luck, my hat's off to you. You saw something that the rest of the football league didn't see, and I'll eat my words, because there's, 30 whatever other teams that just seem to be like, you're picking them up at number 2 and you're trading to get up to number 2. That just seems kind of crazy. So anyway, these are my thoughts on the draft. Besides that, I guess this is more of a local video, because I'm talking more about Cleveland. I really got to think. I really got to. What's the words? In my head, I really got to think that the Browns knew that the Steelers wanted the tight end, and we snatched them out from right under them. But then again, you also don't go mortgaging your draft or giving away other draft picks just to stifle another team when you don't necessarily have a need in that department. And then I also just heard on the radio that had we kept Barnage, it would have been awesome to have the 2 tight end threat. I mean, realistically, we're not going to have a quarterback again this year. So without a quarterback, what do you want? You want tight ends, and I think that, the 2 tight ends paired together, as well as Isaiah Crowell, stepping out of the backfield, and a powerful upgrade at defense could have got us out of the basement. I predict the Browns are going to win 5 games this year. And some people are going to laugh at me, but 5 games from 1 game is a tremendous improvement. But we're definitely not going to be competitive. I think there's like 3 games that are practically gimmies, which with Cleveland Browns, you really don't have a gimme. But 3 games that I see that are really winnable games for us. And then 2 games I think we're just going to surprise, like once in a while we'll just bust out and beat like the Patriots or, some team that we have no business beating. So 5 games I got the Browns winning. What do you guys think? Leave your comments in the comment section. If you agree with me, disagree with me, let me know by either telling me about it in the comment section, leaving me a thumbs up or a thumbs down. I don't care. Either way, I'll know where you stand on that. And if you're watching this from another city, or you're a football fan of another team besides the Browns, what do you think your football team did in this draft? Are you happy? What grade would you give them, A through F? As always, if you liked what you saw or would like to know about more of my upcoming videos, please hit the subscribe button. And if you guys are already subscribed, thank you so much. It means the world to me. We're slowly growing, but the thing is, we're growing, and that's what's important. I had some problems with my PC software, and I haven't been able to throw a video up there in a while. So right now, what's trending on the internet and what everyone's talking about at the coffee cooler is the NFL draft. So I figured I would chime in on that. Peace.